Today, we're gonna destroy some United States legal tender.
Welcome to Warped Legacy.
So this project is for my very first patron, Roy, over at Christ-Centered Ironworks. Let me tell you a little more about it. So, the title here is actually just a bit misleading, because while we are destroying U.S. tender, it's not illegal. What we're going to be doing is doing something called Mokume Gane. I think that's how you say it anyways. I'm not really sure. I've seen it done with quarters before. And I know dimes are constructed the same way as quarters. And nickels are solid all the way through, but it's the same metal that's on the outside of a quarter and the outside of a dime. So what we're going to do here, heat this stuff up and essentially forge weld it together. Never done it before. Hopefully it works. Let's get going! Starting to glow!
On camera, that thing looks like it's just glowing super hot, but it's just barely red. The camera's picking up a lot of UV. I give up doing it that way. I'm going to start forge and we're really going to get it hot.
Welcome back to the office, and before we get going here, I want to touch base with Title 18, Section 331 of the U.S. Code. I am not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. Do what you want with your stuff. If you get in trouble, it's not my fault. So, Title 18, Section 331 says,
whoever fraudulently alters, defaces, mutilates, impairs, diminishes, falsifies, scales, lightens any of the coins coined at the mints of the United States or any foreign coins which are by law made current or are in actual use or circulation as money within the United States, or whoever fraudulently possesses, passes, alters, publishes, or sells, or attempts to pass, utters, publish, or sell, or bring into the United States any such coin, knowing the same to be altered, defaced, mutilated, impaired, diminished, falsified, scaled, or lightened, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 5 years or both.
now, on the face value, sounds like I'm going to get in trouble. But the key word in there is fraudulently. I am not trying to pass this off as anything other than a novelty item. This is a cool piece of metal that used to be coins. I know this is the way it works in the US, otherwise those penny smasher things that you see all over the place at every tourist place would be completely illegal. I also know this is not necessarily the case if you do not live in the US. I read that in Canada they have those penny smasher machines, but they're preloaded with US pennies. And I read two different things about that. One of the things I read said it was just illegal to destroy Canadian currency. The other one I read said it was because it's illegal to deface the Queen. The Queen is on Canadian currency. And I'm guessing a lot of that transfers over to the UK, but I'm not sure. I have absolutely no idea. Like I said, I am not a lawyer. I don't know what I'm talking about. I know I'm not getting in trouble. Do what you want. I made this thing for my very first patron, Roy, over at Christ-Centered Ironworks. Originally, I planned on making something similar to this, a little bit bigger, just out of steel and sending it to whoever my first patron was. But, since my first patron was a blacksmith, I figured I'd make something a little different that wasn't something that he could just make in his shop in 5 minutes with a piece of scrap on the floor. The nickels and the dimes that I put together completely failed, didn't stick together at all. I'm definitely going to try this again. Next time I'm probably going to use more quarters and try to make a bigger billet. I would have tried to make a bigger one this time, but those 5 quarters were literally the only quarters I could find in my house. I probably searched for about an hour. This thing is not top quality work at all. It has all kinds of gold shots, and the top layer came off right here. That's why this chunk is not shiny, because it's deeper than the rest, and I didn't want to sand away anymore because it's already getting too thin. But this is just my logo. On the back, I filed a cross into it before I flattened it and ground it. So it didn't show up as good as I want, but I figured you'd like that in there. So either send me your address at warplegacyforge@gmail.com or go to your Patreon account and add your address to your support. I would suggest going to the Patreon account and adding the address there, because I think I'm going to do more Patreon giveaways. I haven't figured out exactly how I want to do it yet. I'm thinking probably about once a month-ish, when I get a few patrons, I'm going to do a live stream and give away something that I made during that month. Let me know what you think. If you want to be in, head over to Patreon and give me some support. Also, it's getting warmer outside. It's by no means hot yet, but in my shop, it's hot. I don't want to know what it's going to feel like this summer in the summer heat. So I need to do something about that. And that something involves this black canvas material. Give me a guess as to what you think it is. I don't think you're going to have any idea. Thank you for visiting Warp Legacy. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button and let me know in the comments. And if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to give me some direct support, head on over to Patreon and check out my Patreon page. Well, that's all I've got for this video. Until next time, I'm Twan. Go define your legacy. Welcome back to the shop. This is a test shot to see if I'm in shot. Can you see my whole face? Should I say shot again? What is wrong with me?